Aloha and welcome to Java. Thank you for joining me. This is for Friday, December 29th, 2023, last trading day of the year. So I've got some things that I would like to talk about looking forward to 2024 trends I think will continue, but going right into the market because there's a lot to go over. So we've got the MMRI indicating that relatively we're still in a high risk area. However, it's been relatively stable for a while now and on the low range, if you would. So we've got relative dollar strength holding at levels along with the 10-year yield that are still basically allowing stocks to rise more. So equities have it kind of flat yesterday, but futures saying green, slightly green, advancing still just at a slower pace. Got gold under slight bit of pressure at the moment, still holding above the 2075 level. And I think will rise in this coming year with the Federal Reserve expected to ease. Oil is in a very strange position. We've got a lot of manipulation going on here. It's kind of at a low, it's at support levels. I do expect it to recover soon. However, right now, some manipulative things going on. So, with our calendar, we're getting the Chicago PMI talking about inflation, but rarely we're at low volume. So, I expect more of kind of a flat chop day. It's the last day to do tax harvesting, basically portfolio cleanup, selling off all of the losers and rebalancing to the 60/40 that they are required to do prior to tax year ending. And we've also got options expiration. So I think the last hour of today could be very interesting. So we've got stocks hovering near record highs as the Fed rate cut optimism is up. So everybody's looking forward to more easy money. It will flow into the stock market. And we are on 9 weeks of gains. So this is the longest streak in over 20 years. Stocks leading the rally. So how long can it continue? This is just market insanity. So just want to go over some debt because debt is the driver in these markets. And even though a firm is on the smaller side of this, it's a good indicator. So a firm stock up 400% for this year. So it's beating a lot of tech. And a firm is point of sale, short term, debt that you don't have to apply for. Basically, as you're checking out at Walmart to purchase your groceries or with Amazon, you get a last minute loan so that you can pay this off over time. People are purchasing their groceries now over time. That's not a good harbinger for the economy moving forward when all of this comes in. And really, what this is an indicator of, and we've been seeing this in other reports, but they're all lagging numbers. But where we're at right now is showing that savings are depleted. People have maxed out their credit cards. They've used their home equity lines of credit. And now there is a surge in home refinance. People are basically pulling out all equity they possibly can, and now they're doing short term loans. So I will be playing against a firm this coming year, not quite yet. I do longer term trades, not financial advice, but just want to let you know what I'm doing in the whole macro view of this. So, got another story here. This is Binance. So now they are a cryptocurrency exchange. And I would like you to look past that for a moment because the regulation is really what I want to focus with this. If you substitute Binance as you would for any bank, say it's Wells Fargo, and instead of cryptocurrency, use the fiat money, what's happening is the United States is regulating them, saying they cannot operate there and that all people need to close or move their accounts or their money will basically be lost. So they can direct banks to do this as well at a moment's notice. So this is why we've been saying, get your money out of the bank, other than I know that you're forced to transact in fiat currency. And so you have to keep a certain amount in there for your bills, whatever you need, but just don't keep your savings in there. It's becoming more unstable in a very rapid fashion. So on the trade front, we've got Russia is beginning to supply pork to China. So not just pork, but also grains and then other food products. But what is going on here is they're being traded directly yuan to rubles outside of the dollar. So basically this trade is going on and replacing the United States GDP as well as Western world. So we're going to watch this take a hit on the gross domestic product, the real gross domestic product of the West in the future. So along with this, we're going to see Germany will continue to have an issue with this because a lot of their production is manufacturing, which is predicated upon having cheap energy in order to produce. And it's not just production, but it's how much you can make for this. So it's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep. And if they have to expend more money to produce the same amounts, their economy is going to take a major hit over this. And this will trickle out to the rest of the European Union as well as the United States. So cheap energy gone, it's going to hurt a little later. We're also watching sanctions have failed massively on Russia with the oil, which is why some of the current oil manipulation is going on now in different areas. But we've got China also fighting this over technology, and a lot of it based in chip technology. So Huawei has now kind of gone outside of this. They've created their own chips and their own solutions to this. We've also got, and now they're taking a lot of the market. We've also got so much pressure on them that NVIDIA now has created a special chip with slower processing so that they may export to China because they were locked down from doing that by regulation. So now for my trends to continue 2024. First off, Google, Meta, and other tech giants slashing DEI programs. So that's diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, because this was all just virtue signaling, if you would, on the Black Lives Matter protests, riots, to say that they could keep people of color or whatever group you want to fill in that blank hired. Well, now they have to cut back and actually produce with quality. So now they're going back to where they should, which is hiring people that can do the job the most efficiently and produce, regardless of what color they might be. And that is how corporations should be run, in my opinion. We've also got paired with this, the current administration has tariffs going on steel and aluminum. So they've extended the exemptions. We're also watching oil lease programs, and this is all in trade wars, is basically what's going on. So I do expect trade wars to go on as well as currency wars because it's a race to the bottom who can devalue the currency first because they're exporting their inflation. And what that is basically meaning we're getting everybody else's goods cheaper. However, with China and Russia trading outside and more of the BRICS nations that will do this as well, this whole game of the devaluation will have less of an effect. So we were talking about this uh, as soon as this happened. We were talking about how the strikes in the Red Sea and the issues on the shipping, when they began halting that would create inflation and also cause price shocks for the West. So now more are picking up on this story and trying to figure this out. So, I mean, when you cost more to ship goods, it will be passed on. So I expect a lot more of these increase in prices, not just from this particular incident, but moving forward, it's going to be more expensive to ship goods with these wars going on. So when these goods become more expensive, companies will have to cut on their labor. So this is also a trend right now, as I was saying before. Jobless claims did rise. And I've got Newsweek also saying this massive layoffs coming in 2024. A lot of businesses have already put out their projections that they do need to cut jobs. And that is kind of this self-fulfilling prophecy because as they cut jobs, people without jobs spend less money, they spend less money, businesses make less, and more businesses fold. So we've got one more victim here, Zulily. They have to shut down over a challenging business environment because they're looked forward, they're not making profit. So between prices increasing and they have to cut their labor, they just can't make it. So smaller, medium, and this is not even that small, having to cut. So we'll watch more businesses shutter, more banks will be M&A, merger acquisitions will increase. So another story, we've got Google. They have to settle a massive lawsuit over improperly tracking quote unquote incognito mode users. So they've got a feature browser that is supposed to be a privacy browser. And of course, nothing is private. They're collecting all the data. And once this was found out, they're going to have to settle $5 billion. And they will continue because they make much more than that off of your data. And we all knew that as well. So another trend. So this is on Argentina, talking about the unions taking to the streets to protest cutbacks and austerity. However, so I'm thinking this is going to be a trend moving forward, not just for Argentina, but as more companies hit this recession, there will be more austerity. And I think this is going to bring a few other things. More companies will struggle. Going to watch insurance companies because they're going to be in an interesting sector as well. If they have to cover for a lot of this, I expect insurance companies going to be taking a hit this year. We've also got probably some assassination attempts that will happen, more coups, because in general, this environment kind of allows that to happen, if you would. I do also expect more crime will increase, more theft. We'll be watching more of that, more mobility control and speech control. And the excuse will be used that crime is increasing. So, a couple of updates, and I'll let you go. With this more in this election year, selection cycle coming up, Maine is now barring Trump from the ballot. So, my personal opinion, regardless of how you vote, I don't think that they should be selecting who you're able to vote for. The whole idea about elections is that the people can choose who they want to vote for, regardless of who it is, and let them decide. So the Secretary of State has decided that this person should not be an option. So let me know your opinions on this. You know, whether you would vote for the guy or not, you can put anyone, any name in there. I don't think they should be choosing what that selection is. And that's the whole idea. And if there's insurrections and things happening, that again is by the people. This is from inside. If it was an external insurrection, that would be a different story. But these are the people that they're looking to lead. So, anyway, wanted to go to an update. After the wildfires, Maui, the economy does need tourists. So, if you're looking to take a vacation, consider it there. If you're going to be spending some money, got a little extra there, might be a good area rather than just having the super billionaires buying out the land. So we all kind of need this boost forward. So I want to wish you all a happy 2024. I'm very happy and very blessed for this community. I want to thank you all with that. Wish you all a wonderful day, and more so than ever until I see you again, my friends, in the new year. Stay free.